how to make the most of your financial options is critical for any small business owner. Simon Powley of Kitsap Credit Union is back with a no-nonsense checklist for every entrepreneur and how you can use this to make informed, confident decisions. So hello again and welcome.
Hey, great to be back. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we love having you here. You always have the best advice.
Thanks.
What's the first thing a business should consider when choosing a financial partner?
Yeah, first and foremost, local decision making, right? You've got to have someone you can partner with that can give you advice that you can get a hold of, that's accessible, to be able to help you really be successful in what you're trying to accomplish. So local decision making, it's faster, relationship, they understand the local economy, they understand your business at a granular level, and they can help you.
That makes perfect sense. And once you have this financial partner, you also want someone who really knows business, which makes sense. So what are folks looking for next?
Yeah, so dedicated business services team and a personalized growth support. So let's break those down a little bit. One is a dedicated business services teams mean they've invested in subject matter experts relative to your business so that they know your business, can understand it, and can give you the advice that you need. And then the personalization part of it is understanding the local economy. So again, going back to that local, they have to understand your business, but also the community that you operate in to know that you can be successful in it and to help give you advice.
Yeah. And what about when a business needs quick access to capital?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, first of all, you want something that's fast and streamlined. So we've all been through loan processes. They can be frustrating for businesses. It's the next level. They're very reliant on cash flow and understanding how their receivables come in and how they go out. And so when you're looking at that, make sure that you can have something accessible. So I'll give you an example. We've got a loan program that we've stood up at Kitsap Credit Union for $100,000 or less, and it's not secured to something related to real estate. We can usually close that in less than a day. So to make sure that it's easy and streamlined, that it's not overcomplicated, they're not requiring too much of you to understand your business or financials. To gather all those things takes time. So make sure you get somebody local and that somebody's got that streamlined process, because you don't have time to wait all the time as a business. Sometimes you're day to day, week to week, month to month.
Yeah, and I just like being able to talk to somebody local too.
Yeah, critical.
So once financing is in place, managing daily operations is next. So what tools should business owners expect?
Yeah, I would call that integration of financial services. So, small business owner or business owners in general are very busy people. And so you want to make sure that you've got the tools relatable. So they don't always have time to go visit our branches, for instance, or call our contact center. They're running their business and their finances day to day. And of course, we all have personal lives as well. So making sure that they've got dedicated integrated platforms. So we've invested, for instance, at Kitsap Credit Union on an integrated online support that'll give you ACH capabilities, the ability to do wires, the ability for remote deposit capture, to manage your credit cards. All of those things are all integrated online. So make sure that they've got a platform that can support your needs and make it easy for you to do business.
And what should a business look for when it comes to credit cards? This question I've gotten a lot from a lot of my friends.
Yeah, it's easy to cash receivables and so forth. So, it's an easy way to manage cash flow. So it's a very simple loan product. We've talked about that before with consumers when I've been on the show. So businesses are no different. So make sure that you have the ability locally to be able to make decisions, number one, a streamlined process, number two, ask questions to help you with your finances, and that you can make payments very, very easily. Again, here local within your communities will just make it easier on you to be able to do that. You don't want to deal with someone that's third party or, heaven forbid, in another continent or much less another state when it comes to these things. You want somebody that's accessible to you.
Yeah, and the ability to accept payments, like you said, is critical.
Yes.
So what's important to think about there?
Yeah, so merchant acquiring. So we've all used to that, whether it's the grocery store that have complex needs, right, when you scan for your groceries and so forth, whether it's a local food truck, whatever the complexity is, you want to make sure that your provider has merchant services that are available to, what I'd say flex with whatever the needs are of your business. And so they need different hardware and different software. So again, from a hardware perspective, it may be something that you can take with you to a local trade fair or go on a food truck, something like that. In other cases, it may be more complex, like a restaurant or something like that. So you want to make sure that you can actually be able to process that, have the hardware and software capabilities. In some cases, software is combined with payroll services, for instance. So you want to make sure that you've got hardware and software capabilities to be able to help you with that.
Yeah, and communication, we talked about this a little earlier, is obviously a big deal when you need help. So what should folks really be expecting from their financial partner?
Yeah, so communication is really important to be able to easily access. So let me tell you one of my favorite stories.
Please.
So we have a member that we just closed on a local loan for, and he's a restaurant owner here in the Puget Sound. You know, great food, great experience, got great teammates, inroads in the community, is very vested, and he's got several locations around. Well, something came up where he had the ability to buy the facility in one of his flagship locations. I've eaten there, by the way. It's fantastic. I'll tell you about it later.
Please.
But he was able to actually purchase. So he called us and was just talking about, hey, I'd like to be able to build some wealth. I'd like to have more control over my business. I'd like to be able to do things a little bit differently, maybe set up my kids in a different way. And so to buy a business for a restaurant is not an easy thing to do. And so, we were able to negotiate that, and he's now purchased an absolutely beautiful facility, and he's now in control of his own wealth. He's now in control of his business. So that communication back and forth, he was able to call our business services team and say, hey, here's a unique opportunity. What do you think? And we're able to work with him and position him in such a way that he has successful. So, really important to have that back and forth. Then you want to be able to ensure that you're communicated with and educated when it comes to those things. So it's not about, I expect within my partners as well as a business owner to make sure that, you're not reactive to me. So I don't have to come to you for every situation. You want to be able to stay proactive and look out for your needs and educate you on the opportunities that are available out there to help support your business. So communication is really key with this.
Key. And lastly, community commitment, reinvestment.
Yeah, of
Tell
course,
me about it.
Right? I mean, you want to make sure that you're doing partnerships. So again, with those businesses that are involved in that community, do you feel and are they making an impact in your community, right, that you serve so that you can give back? And they're vested in that, right? Those communities are ecosystems. So everybody that goes to that local restaurant, for instance, that lives there is invested in that community. Don't you want your dollars and funds going back in there? And then we get really an effective community and can grow and be successful together. And that's really what credit unions are about, right? Servicing our member base and helping our communities.
You're the best. Thanks for being here. We
Great.
appreciate it.
Thanks for
Great
having me.
tips. And to learn more about Kitsap Credit Union and everything they have to offer, just visit the website that you see right there on your screen.
This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Kitsap Credit Union.